I'm so sorry. I was all ready and just waiting for 7:30, and then I didn't pay attention to the clock, and now it's 7:32. Oh well, that's the way it goes, right? Hello, Susan and Marianne. So nice to have you with me already tonight. So happy Monday Night Scrappin'. For those of you who don't know, maybe you're new, you're watching the replay or you're jumping on later. I do scrapbooking on Monday nights, and tonight's scrapbook mission is helping you get those travel photos put in your scrapbook. So I know that's one of the biggest problems that scrapbookers have is figuring out how to get those thousands of holiday or vacation photos into either a book or either just onto a page. And so I want to help you with that tonight. Before we get into all that, let me say hello again. Hi, my name's Christina Reese. This is Creating with Christina, and on Monday nights I do scrapbooking. So also I am a card maker, and we do have cards on this channel. Speaking of cards, let me switch my camera. If you have not seen, there we go. If you have not seen my April card kit by mail, these are the cards for the kit. And a card kit by mail, you send me the money, and then I send you everything you need to make these beautiful cards. And you get enough to make 8 cards. All of the cardstock is pre-cut for you. You'll have to cut anything that the Delightful Wishes die set or stamp set has, but other than that, it like this stitch circle, I'll cut that out for you because that's not a part of the set. So you will need the bundle Delightful Wishes to create these cards, or some kind of a floral stamp and die set. It doesn't have to be Delightful Wishes. This card could be made with other flowers and stuff. But anyways, I just wanted to point that out. If you have not gotten an email about this card kit by mail, please send me a message, Christina at creatingwithchristina.com, and I will be sure to get you the link so you can get your hands on these beautiful kits. This beautiful kit, it comes with everything you need to make the cards, plus videos and instructions, all kinds of funny, and always a nice thank you gift from me too. All right, let's get on to tonight's scrapping. All right. Woo, look at all these people we have. I love it. So I've already said hello to Susan and Marianne, but we also have Allison and Linda, Luana, Brenda, Debbie, Loretta, another Debbie, Terry, Tina, Mary Ellen. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. And like I said, tonight we are talking about travel photos. So how many of you have a box full of travel photos, or your phone has thousands of travel photos from some event you or a vacation you went on, and you haven't done anything with them yet? You haven't printed them, you haven't put them in a book, you haven't done anything. They're just sitting there, and then when you go back to look at them, sometimes you can't find them because you've taken so many other pictures since then. So we want to get those pictures off of your phone and into a book so people can enjoy them. You can enjoy them and you can share them easier with other people. So that's what we're doing tonight. All right. Speaking of travel photos, tell me, what are some of your favorite places you have traveled? Where I'm going to be scrapbooking some pictures we got in Mexico when we were snorkeling. So that's what we're doing tonight with my photos. But what photos do you all have in your stash that you need to get printed and put in a scrapbook page? All right. So the scrapbook page that I'm going to do, first of all, let me get out my stamps. Like I said, we were in Mexico and we went snorkeling. So, I had to get this stamp set and this paper out. I love it. So I've used it some other times in my Mexico album that I've been working on. But this page specifically, we spent the day in the water, pretty much all day in the water. So I got out my sea turtle stamps, the coral, here's some more coral. This coral is from Beauty of the Deep. This is still available. It's an older stamp set, but it's perfect if you've got snorkeling pictures or beach pictures. This stamp set goes with this die set. Now, I didn't use the crabs or the lobsters because we were not in a place that had that kind of stuff. We had fish and sea turtles and stuff. So, but I love this coral piece here and the seaweed right here. So I used all that. Before I got started tonight, I went ahead, I pre-cut all of the embellishments. I put my photos on photo mats and all of that. So what I really want to show you tonight is not just how to do this page, but the process in which I go about doing a project like this. All right, so let me make sure we don't have any questions. Please put a question mark in front if you have a question. All right, Loretta says, Priest Lake, Idaho, or Leavenworth, Washington. Those were for some fun times. Awesome, Loretta. Well, hopefully tonight will help you get your pictures on a scrapbook page. So first thing you have to do is select what photos you're going to use. So I want to show you a picture. You're going to freak out. There it is. These are all of the photos. I don't know if you can see them all, but there's like, I don't know, close to 30 pictures there, probably more. But I was like, how am I going to get these pictures on my scrapbook page? I'm like, this is going to be a nightmare. But I took a breath and I went back to my formula. And here's my formula. So let me go back to this page. There we go. My formula is first, we need to, what did we do in this event that we're trying to scrap? And so I was in Mexico, like I said, and we were at a place called Xelha. And it's spelled Xelha. Xelha. And come here, pictures. They're all like misbehaving here. All right, there we go. I think I got them all. And the first thing we did when we got there, besides getting our picture taken in front of the sign, was we got inner tubes and we floated down the mangrove. These are upside down. Okay, hold on. Go the other way. Just a minute. I thought I was so organized, right? Okay. Here we go. So we floated down the mangrove little area, and you can't see it very well in this picture. So I got another picture out. Here it is. And these are my feet right there. And I took a picture of going down this mangrove. It was so cool. And all you could do was just float. And it was very slow and very relaxing. And we tried to stay back so that we felt like we were the only ones there. But of course, the people behind us were like bumping into us. It was, I wanted to feel like I was the only one there, but it is a vacation spot. So there were a lot of other people there, but it was a lot of fun. So I have this big picture of my husband. I know you can't see it very well. It looks blurry on the screen. And then there's a picture of my feet. So that's the first thing we did. Then when we came out of the mangrove, we climbed up a cliff. Oh, actually, here's a picture of me coming out of the mangrove. And there's this big cove. And this is where everybody comes out to the big cove. All right. So that picture is actually going to go underneath this one. That is another way to get more pictures on without making your page look overloaded. That is to use what we call flip flaps. All right. They are clear plastic envelopes with adhesive. So you flip it up and you see the other picture. Okay. So we're going to do some of that tonight. So we came out of the mangrove and we jumped off the cliff. All right. Where's my other cliff? Here's my husband jumping off the cliff. And then there's a picture of me jumping off. Here's me jumping off the cliff. Well, there were other pictures I wanted to include. I was like, no, I need to get the picture of the splash and all this other stuff. So here's a picture of my husband first jumping off the cliff. Okay. Then I put it on fast shutter, and then as he was falling, I got another picture, and then so this will be actually on the back of this flip flap, so it'll pop up like this, boop boop, and then you'll see the splash there. So I wanted to get all of that part of the story in on my page, but to save space, I'm using a flip flap. So that's another one, and then you have the picture of my husband and I both jumping. You can see my hair. Oh, I wish this camera would. Let me zoom in. There we go. You can see it a little better. My hair is flying right there, but I thought that was fun. All right, so we jumped off the cliff. Then we floated around a little more in the lagoon, okay? And here is a picture of Shellha. So that is the mangrove area where you come out of the mangrove from there. And then you come out into this big area, and everybody's in their inner tube out here. Some people are zip lining. Some people are trying to walk the wire. Some people are just snorkeling. All kinds of activities going on in the cove. Then over here, this is a water slide, and you can see you come out in the little pool right there. That was a lot of fun. That was the last thing we did on the vacation, on the day. But when you come over here, there's a cave. And so we went cave snorkeling. So here we are at the entrance of the cave, and there's a picture of the two of us. They had these things where you put your activation band on, and it took a picture of you. That was a picture of my husband. This area back here actually had a hole to the ceiling, and the light came out. So this isn't a very good picture. This was a selfie we tried to do, and then we had that little ring there where you scan your bracelet, and it took a picture of us, but it was really cool. And I want all these pictures on here. So we're going to put that one behind there. This one's going to go up there. This one goes here. These two go here. All right. And then this is just the sign when we came into the park. So Shellha 2024. And that is the beginning. So I've got let me zoom back out. So I've got all these photos now. Now it's more doable. Now I can make a scrapbook page. All right. Like I said, I spent all afternoon kind of just shuffling through. It takes a while, but you just walk through the day. All right, we went to the mangrove. What are the best pictures for the mangrove? Can I make any of them smaller? Can I do some flip flaps? All right, there's mangrove. Then we did some cliff diving. Okay, they didn't have to be big pictures. They're kind of blurry anyway. So those are small pictures. Then we went to the cave. That really was the coolest part of the trip. So I picked out the best pictures we had from the cave, and then here's some posing pictures. And so that's how we do it. That's how we do it. All right. So let's now talk about placing the background paper. Okay, so now I've got all these pictures. Let me just move them out of the way. We'll put them back on the page as soon as we get out. All right, so we're going to do a white background. Okay, I'm going to do a white background. And we're going to get out the paper from the Friends of the Ocean. Make sure y'all can see what I'm doing here. All right, and what I'm going to do here is, this is a very simple way to do some color behind your photos. Remember, you've got a lot of photos. There's really not going to be much room to show paper, but you will see some. I tried just using the whole sheet, but it was just way too busy. And having just a color was too boring. So this is how you do it. When you have super, super busy paper, you only use a little bit of it. Okay, so I'm going to put a strip here and a strip here. Then that's too white, but I didn't want any more busyness. So I want some color. So I do this. All right. So this is a very go-to. Oh, you know what? My picture's in the way. Let me see if I can move up so I'm not all the way in. I'll move my picture when I get down to this corner. But for right now, there we go. All right. How are we doing? Allison says, wow, that sounds super fun. Oh, it is, Allison. If you ever get to Shellha, Mexico, you have to visit the Tulum ruins and then go snorkeling at Shellha. Cheryl says, hi, just got back from New Orleans and you have 100 pictures. Awesome. All right. So here we go. New Orleans. We're going to get 2 pages out. We're going to put some colored paper here, some colored paper here. This is 5 by 12. These are 6 by 6. Really simple, nothing else. So let me get those taped down. All right. and I just put them evenly. Okay, so my 6x6. Oh, wait a minute. I want to make sure these are hexagons, and I want to make sure they're going the same direction. So I have them going up and down. And actually, let's make sure I get this even. Come on. So 1, 2, 3 right there. Right there. All right, because it's 6x6, so I know 3 was the magic number. And then we'll do it on this side. And once again, let's get the white paper to where make sure I'm the same direction. It butts up to the edge at the 3-inch mark, and then we're there. Now these just get put across, bumping up next to the orange. So make sure your coral is going in the right direction. All right, there we go. That looks good. Okay, so far so good. Now my photos are going to extend down into this white area. So I did back my photos with colored cardstock. So sometimes you want to do that. You don't have to. Some people like doing white, but because I did leave white here and here, the pictures kind of, if I back them in white, then it just blends into the back of this, and it didn't look right. So I chose some colors. All right, now that I've got that, now let's put those pictures back on. So here we go. We're going to start with the shell ha picture. Oh no, this is that's that picture. In that picture. And notice I did all those in orange. This one goes, I'm trying to remember where these go. I think this one goes here. Yeah, because this one went here. Okay. This one went behind this one. Okay. There we go. Here's the mangrove. All right. And here's us jumping. Here's the, actually, yeah, that's right. That goes down. There's my husband. This goes behind my husband. All right, and here's this jumper. But this one, I need to make sure. Okay, another thing is, if you're going to have a flip flap, when you decorate with embellishments, you cannot put it over the picture. That's very common to embellish onto corners of photos. All right, but if you're going to be making a flip flap, and in this case, it's my husband jumping the cliff here, then we don't want our embellishments. And I know I'm putting an embellishment down here. So we're going to do that. And so there's the mangrove. And then there's this coming out of the mangrove. So all those pictures are right there. This is just the title page. Now, before we get all this put on here, I want to make sure it's all correctly balanced. We want it to balance. So, let me see here. I want about a 1/4 inch from the bottom. Oh, where's my ruler? There it is. Okay. I want about a 1/4 inch. And is it on both sides? Yeah. Okay. So there is a 1/4 inch. And there is a 1/4 inch. All right. So once I get this one down, all the rest of them will flow fairly easily. Okay. Will fall into place fairly easily. Okay. Now don't press down too hard first. Now remember, this is the flip flap. When you do flip flaps, the 2 cards that flip up, or the 2 photos that flip up, you're not attaching those. You're just attaching this one down here. This one doesn't have a photo mat because it didn't really need one, because you're going to be flipping it up. Now, if I wanted to, I could. Actually, I'm thinking I might want to. Yeah. Hold on. Well, that one's already stuck on there. Okay. You know what? I'm going to use my removable tape for right now. I'll go back and do that later. But I got to thinking, you know what? That does need some what am I trying to say? It needs a backing. See, I trimmed it down to the same size as these were trimmed down for the three. This mat is a 3x4. So these are 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I had cut this one down thinking it was going to be, I was going to have all three of the cliff diving pictures here. And then I changed my mind. Those things happen. Okay. Let me make sure this is on here right. Yep. So I want to. There we go. Am I making sense, people? All right, we've got that one there. That one's there. Okay. And then this one goes right here. And I want to make sure we stay lined up on the the 1/4 inch. So the 1/4 inch is right there. Right there. Okay. So oh no, I dropped my tape and it opened. Ah. Okay. Making sure I get this on here right. This one seems like it's, oh, that's because it's not tacked down. I forgot it's in a flip flap. That's why it's moving. All right. Did we get it good? Let me double check. It's like measure 300 times, tape once. There we go. Okay. Let's see if I can get my tape back together. Oh, I hope it didn't completely mess up. These things are such a nightmare when they fall apart. Okay, cross your fingers. Okay, we've got those on. We're doing good. We're doing good. All right, so now this one doesn't need a mat behind it because it's not trimmed down. It's a 4x6. So we need our tape runner. Okay. And let me see okay, I'm going to line it up with this one. And I'm going to go about 1/4 inch. This seems like it's in the way. There we go. Make sure it's lined up right. Okay. And then this one just lays on top. All right. And then finally, this one. Let's get back in place. Ta-da! Okay, one side done. All right, now let's get this side done. So we've got all our pictures on there. They're all balanced. We've got some flip-flops ready. Okay, we'll be putting our title here and we are going to embellish up here also. But we want to get our photos done first. That is the biggest thing, is trying to lay out the photos. The title, all the embellishments, all of that isn't necessary. It's fun, but it isn't the main thing. Your photos are the main thing. Remember, they are the star of the show. Okay, now this photo is going to line up with this photo. Come here. There we go. Just a little bit off there. Okay. And kind of eyeball it. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, I think so. Get off of there. Okay. Yeah, that's right. And then the flip flap goes here. Now, I only had the 2 photos. So I can put some journaling back here. I could put a scene back here. I could just leave it blank. We'll see what I do. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. All right, but that one is set. Now this is 2, not 3x4s, because this is a 4x6. These are 2 3/4 by 4 3/4, and they're stuck on here. And then they are just placed right next to that one. Okay, we're even. I think we are. Awesome. Okay, we're getting there. Now, it's like a puzzle. So this one wants to be the same. We're trying to say the same 1/4 inch everywhere. Okay. And like I said, I'm just eyeballing it most of the time. But it helps keep your layout balanced when these are all lined up here and all lined up here, even though they're not all the same size and they're not all ending, they're like, this one goes further than these two, but that's okay because it's even over here. All right. And then all of the little spaces are the same. So that's another thing that gives you balance. Color is another thing that gives you balance. And if you're noticing, I'm sticking with the colors from the paper. So we have Berry Burst, which the bottom photos are matted in. You've got Pumpkin Pie, which the top photos are matted in. I'm going to pull the other colors with some of the coral and seaweed that I've punched out. All right. Okay. Are we done? We are done. Except these loose ones, because they go on flip-flaps. Now, flip-flaps you put on after it's in the album. Okay. Now, some people will cut slits in their page protectors and have their flip-flap threaded through it. It keeps it more in place that way, I think. I don't know. The other way is just to stick it directly on the flip-flap, no cutting, and it just opens and closes. If you're, the only thing I have found that if the page protector moves a little bit, sometimes it doesn't cover up the photo that's underneath it anymore, but it's really not that big of a deal. Okay. All right. We're ready to do some decorating. Y'all ready to do some decorating? All right. First of all, this first piece that I have, I'm going to put something above the top here to kind of, so I've got this big long line here. All right. So I want to make a long line up here, but I don't just want a strip of cardstock. I want something a little more interesting. So if you've ever had a border punch, that's what this is. It's a seashell border punch that I have. But if you don't have the border punch, but you have a Cricut, an electric Cricut cutting machine, you can look and see what kind of borders they have to cut. Stampin' Up! Does not have border punches yet. They have some, well, that's not true. They have some border punches, but they don't have a lot of like these, like seashells and things like that. They eventually will, I hope. This whole scrapbooking thing is new. So, okay, now we're having a problem here. I just realized, darn it. Because this is a flip-flap, I can't have that seashell overlapping. All right, it needs to go under. It can, I guess it could overlap, but this one, when it goes on top, will cover it. So I guess that's okay. Is it happening on this one too? I don't know. I probably, because it's the same. Oops, upside down. I thought I had more room than that. Oh, well, I guess I didn't. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So let me just dab some glue on here and I will get this. Actually, this is the back side. I'll get this stuck on there. So, oh, come on now. My glue is stuck. Good old sewing pin. All right, there we go. Now, of course, once I glue this on here, that's it. It is on forever. Oh, come on. It's really being ornery. Come on. There it goes. Okay. Watch it now not stop. I've had that happen before. Oh, come on. You just were squishing out. What? Sorry, people. We're having technical difficulties here. Get my silicone mat out so I don't make a mess. There it goes. It was clogged. Now it's not clogged. All right. Okay, here we go. Where's my little guy? There we go. Now little dots. So I just put little dots of glue on here. So if I do need to move it, hopefully it doesn't stick too much to the page. There we go. And so the whelk shell goes right up to the edge. There we go. Yep, very nice. Okay, and let's do this one. There we go. Mm-hmm. Yay. Okay, so there's my little border that kind of brings my eye, all this nice, beautiful summer splash. That's the color I'm using. Got summer splash going on there, but I'm going to need to bring that summer splash down in here. There is some in the designer paper right here, but not really enough to bring your eye down. So we will be doing that. All right, that's where the fun part comes in. So we have selected our photos. We've got it going in a story form here. Okay. Then we got our paper down, and now we're doing some balance. So we've got all our photos nicely laid out, so they all look nice and organized, and it doesn't look too overwhelming. We need a title, so we're going to put our title up here. Well, if I put something like big, like a title like that, I'm going to want to put something big over here. And so over here is my journaling. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my face because I'm going to be working in that corner and I don't want to be covering it up. All right, we got that. All right, we got some people talking. All right. Cheryl said, oh, no, that's just got back from New Orleans. I got that one. Ida says, hello. Hello, Ida. All right. Remember, if y'all have questions or comments or anything, let me put it in the comments and we'll talk about it. All right, so that, like I said, that's going there. All right, my title. Whew. Like I said, this afternoon, I spent all afternoon punching and cutting out stuff. So we have coral. Okay, this is orange coral. I'm just going to lay it all right here. We got a big sea turtle. We got a little sea turtle. We got there's that blue, for the summer splash blue. We've got lemon lime twist coral. We got blackberry bliss seaweed. Oh my gosh, we got so much stuff. All right, here is some more coral. This one is orange. All right, one of the letters to my title. Another starfish, more seaweed. I even got sand dollars. I don't know if I'll use those though. We'll see. Here's some more coral, but it's the lime green. More coral. Now notice I've got 3 of each because we have 3 spots. We want that visual triangle that we always talk about. Here's another sea turtle. Some more sand dollars, another starfish, and a sand dollar, another sea turtle. Okay. Gosh, I got so much stuff. All right, and more seaweed. Okay, so there we've got all of our embellishments ready. Let's go ahead and like I said, I know my title's going right here, but my title is going to go on top of some embellishment here. So let's dry fit our embellishments. I'm going to get the orange coral down here. I'm going to get some orange coral up here. And I'm going to get a different kind of coral over here. Now, remember, this is a flip flap. So it's going to be overlapping right there. Or I could put it underneath if I wanted, but it's going to be underneath the flip flap. So it's just like that for right now. Okay, we've got that coral. Now we need a second coral to give us some more background stuff. Oh, the journaling block. Okay, my journaling block is going to lay over the top there. Okay, so this coral, I'm Don't have much room to journal, but I've left myself enough room. I've practiced the journaling so that it fits in that area on a separate sheet of paper. I mean, there's a lot to this. Okay. Some more green coral. Let's put that up there. And then some more green coral for this one. And we can put that like there. Okay. Some blackberry bliss seaweed. Hold on. Let's get all that in there. Okay. Like I said, I don't want to cover up too much of that journaling area. I'll get some. And these are cut two, one long and two. What am I trying to say? A short and a long. What am I trying to say? All right, hold on. How does this go? There we go. We can like make it do that or like that. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Okay, and then we need another one here. Whoops, come here. I love layering. Do y'all love layering? Sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out what you want, but when you're looking at a kit or a suite, it's all kind of done for you. You're layering, when you make these clusters, you want a foundation, and my coral is my foundation. If you don't have a big thing like that, you could use a circle or a hexagon or a triangle or a big flower, or whatever. But I'm using coral. Then we've got some sand dollars. They can go in here. 3 little sand dollars. Starfish, darn it, starfish. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to use the sand dollars. I cut a lot of them out. I didn't know, but they're not really the color, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we use the sand dollars. We'll put those to the side for a sec, but we are using the sea turtles. They're so cute. I love these baby sea turtles. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Mama goes over here and 2 babies are going over here. All right. So now we have, these are my 2 big embellishments. This is my smaller embellishment because it has the title. All right. So we're kind of balanced there. Let's do this. Let's start with this one. Move everybody off. Now I have gently pencil marked lines here so that, and you can see where I practiced writing. What am I trying to say? I don't even know what I'm trying to say. If you're not comfortable with your handwriting, you can print it, whatever. Okay, and I'm going to lift it up pretty far because I want to give myself enough room to journal, but also enough room for embellishments. All right, so there we go. We got that on. Now, our embellishments don't have to stay on the edge. I don't have to put the coral right on the bottom. I can bring it down further if I need to. I can twist it over here to the side, but I do have 2 of them. Okay. And so we're just going to cover this bottom area up with them. Okay. So let's first peel off the backing. Come on. There we go. Oh, lovely. All right, so that is awesome. I'm using adhesive sheet backing. It is a scrapbooker's best friend. Actually, it's a card maker's best friend. It's everybody's best friend. It's like, it's the bomb. That's such an old term. Okay, I'm trying to go slow so it'll pick up the inside pieces. If you go too fast, it won't pull them out. But see how it pulled all those out? But it left a few, but that's okay. I can get them here. I think we got them all. Yeah. Isn't that awesome? That's so awesome. Let's try to see maybe. Yeah, make it look like it's kind of growing in together, not just on top of each other. Isn't that fun? Okay, so fun. Awesome. Okay, our baby sea turtles. Oh, and our Blackberry Bliss. This, I forgot the adhesive sheeting, so we're going to have to use glue on those. Not a problem. Okay, just, and a little bit. This, see, if y'all haven't noticed, this seaweed is split in the center, so glue will come up through there if you put too much glue. Okay. All right, that's enough. And we'll just put this over here. Awesome. And then this one. Okay. I'm trying to decide what to do here. Come on. There we go. Okay, just stick it down. Quit playing with it. Now, some people will use dimensionals in their scrapbook, but my book is so thick already, it's almost past how big it can be. So no more for me. Not doing dimensionals. We've got a starfish over here. Let's look at some of those sand dollars. Okay, like sand dollar there, maybe. Okay, maybe put the sea turtle up more. Yeah, there we go. I like that. I like that. Okay. Of course, little sea turtle arm is going to get cut off, but that's okay. There we go. Okay. We want a sand dollar there, sea star there, sand dollar. Yeah, we'll come over here. Okay. And let me get one more sand dollar. I'm going to use them. Sometimes you think you are, and sometimes you think you're not, but we are. All right. Oh gosh, I can't decide. Just stick it on there. Okay, it's done. You can spend hours on embellishing. Oh, we have a question, Tina. Where do you glue the flip page if you have like your coral under the picture? Good question. All right, let me get that out so you can see what we're talking about. Let's get a 4x6 one up here. And it needs to be a top one. Yep. Okay. So what'll happen, this page is not going to, this is my flip flap. Okay. So let's see which side is the sticky side. Yeah. The cut portion goes underneath and it closes that way. So that's the opening part there. So this is going to go in here like that. Come on, get in there. Oh, seriously. There we go. Okay, so that's going to fold over like that. So all of this, it needs to be moved over. Now, this picture isn't moving, okay? I don't want my coral to be right in the picture. I need to move it over some because I do want you to see that that's kind of where you come out. But that's okay if that's there. Then this will go on top of that. But I won't have anything on here so that when you do flip it up, it'll be like that. And you'll see some, if you want to have it showing here, you don't have to, you can lift this photo up and put it under the photo too, or just cut it off. I hope that answers your question. So as I make this cluster here, it's not going to go across the photo, this photo. It can go across this photo though. That's fine. Well, as it falls. I hope that makes sense. All right. Well, speaking of this corner, let's go ahead and get started on it then. All right. So we've got the green, the orange, the purple, eggplant, blackberry bliss. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Well, first of all, I know this thing's just too big anyways. So we're just going to cut it off and just right like that. So now I only have a little bit to mess with, and I got to get this off of here if I can. There we go. And then this little bit, and this little bit, this little bit. Okay, now that I've got all that done, now, there. That looks better instead of it covering the whole thing. So we can even use this down here if we wanted. But I've got this orange to play with too. Okay, hold on. And I'm not really sure if I need it because I've got so much orange already up here. The idea is that you keep all the colors in the different clusters. Okay, so it stays balanced. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, we've got a lot of pieces that stayed in. Whew, this is a very intricate die. Really cool, though. Isn't it cool? All right. So here is another one where I don't need all that coral. So I'm just going to take some snips, but I don't want it just cut straight off. I want it to look fairly natural. So I'm going to snip it there and snip it there. Maybe snip it there. There we go. That looks semi-natural. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. So far, so good. Now we need a little sea turtle. Okay. So we have the little sea turtle. You can go right there. And the little starfish can go like, maybe sea turtle would be on top of the starfish. I don't know. Wait a minute. My title's coming here. I don't want the title to land on my sea turtle. Let's put my sea turtle up here. That's the nice thing about sea turtles. They don't have to be on the floor. All right. And then some of the seaweed here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking that looks good. Okay. So excuse me as I bang. Sometimes the glue likes to settle because I don't put it back in the glue stand. Okay. Go. We're going to put you right up there because you're so cute. Take these little guys out. Okay. Actually, this one is fine, but that other one is too long. There we go. Oops. Okay. There we go. There we go. Everybody's looking good. All right, now let's get that title done. It's a long title, of course, because Shellha's already here. I wasn't about to put Shellha up there again. That's silly. So I thought, and like I decided, okay, what's going on here? We've got adventure, we've got water everywhere. I'd already used Water Wonders, so I didn't want to do that. The Mystic Deep, that was a bit much. There were so many ideas. Well, I finally came down to go with the flow because that's all we did. We flowed. We just floated and just kind of went with the flow. So that's the title I came up with. So let's get all these letters down. Okay. They're going to be stuck. Okay. I see how you're doing. You're sticking to my fingers. Not nice. Not nice. Go with. See, they're sticking to me. Stay. Quit moving. Okay. W-I-T-H-I. Here's the I. Come here, I. Gosh. Okay. Tweezers to the rescue. All right. Come here. I don't know. They're just not wanting to behave. Golly. Okay. Y'all behave yourselves. Okay. Go with the flow. Okay. F, L, O, and W. So we need a little bit of the coral there. That's a big, long title, but it's fun. All right. Let's make sure everybody's in place before we start sticking you down. Now, I don't really have some people get out wax paper and make everything all nice and even. I just eyeball it. Some people will line it up along the bottom of the picture. I'm not a big fan of that one. Now, I will try to, with the word the word with, the line of the colored paper is kind of bothering me. So I think I'm going to move the H over just a wee bit and bring the T onto both. Okay, so my T is going to go right there. So it kind of flows a little better. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I'm going with it. So there we go. Go with the flow. So now let's get these guys stuck down. All right, I have adhesive sheeting on most of them. Some of them don't. So we'll see what happens here. Okay. No, like this one doesn't. Okay, we're going to have the glue occasionally, just a little bit. I know tonight's lasting a little longer than usual, but well, actually not true. Scrapbooking nights usually do last a little longer. I hope these tips have been helping you, though. Right now, we're working on balance, title, journaling, and embellishment. Okay. I told you how to group. You want to group your photos if there's a story to tell, and there is a story to tell on mine. Sometimes it's all just one thing, and all the photos really, like if you're at your daughter's or your granddaughter's dance recital, you have a million pictures from a dance recital, and most of them look alike, but not to you. You think they all look different. But there's not much of a story except the different dances that she does. Okay. So you still want to flow though, you still want it to stay balanced and tell the story. So just remember that. Now, in my case, I don't have much journaling, but that is okay because in the beginning of or actually it's at the end of my album, I have all my notes that I took while I was on vacation. So if anybody wants to really know what we did every day and what I was thinking, they can read the little journal in the back. Which, I don't know if they will. I don't even know if anyone will even look at this album once I'm gone. So I don't worry about it. This one is for me. I always tell myself and tell others, your album is really for you. I know you want to record the memory for your family, and they do appreciate it. However, this is something, it's your art, it's your story, it's for you. So you do what you want to do. And if, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't worry about what other people, it's what they're thinking about the album, or, the kids won't even want them. They're going to throw them away. Well, if they do or they don't, I don't let that bother me. I hope they don't, but I just lost my parents and my brother. And there was some stuff we couldn't have everything. We wanted everything, but we had to be realistic. And so some stuff went to Goodwill, or not Goodwill, but it's like a Goodwill. It's the church. What am I trying to say? Like a Goodwill, but it's the church owns it. And so the money that they get from that is going to help with the ministries. And so that made us feel better, that even though they were family things, we had a lot of memories with them. It wasn't like we were throwing them away. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just worry about today. Enjoy the craft. Enjoy remembering what you did while you're making it. That's the funnest thing about scrapbooks, is reliving the event. Like, I've been having so much fun today remembering all about that day at Shellha, because it was a lot of fun. I hope to get to go back someday. We'll see. Well, thank you, Linda. She said she enjoys watching me create these pages. So I'm glad. And thank you, Loretta. She said, good info and helpful. Awesome. Okay, we're almost done. We just have this last cluster. Okay, so this cluster was a little smaller because it had the title. All right, and let me get my flip flap back on there. Okay, and so this one is kind of covered up like that. All right, but that's okay. It's, you know, sticking out and it has the title, so it's okay. Now, this one down here, this one's going to be fun because it's got Mama Turtle on here. Oh, I love Mama Turtle. Sea turtles are so awesome. Okay, I'm going to move that. That's kind of in the way. All right, we've got this, all these pieces here. I know these two pieces are going to go up here like this, so I can go ahead and put them on instead of trying to stick them down later. A way I'm balancing is I am lifting up towards the title here. Okay. There we go. Okay. That looks great. All right, let's get our coral. I love that we have two different large corals. I think that's really cool. There's another die set that's got some coral. It's the big sand dollars, and it's got like round sand dollar looking type coral. I don't know if it's coral or if it's a sand dollar skeleton. I don't know, but it's cool looking. I don't have that one. It's on back order right now. They say it's currently unavailable, but it was in the last chance section, but currently unavailable. Currently unavailable means they're getting it back. So I'm not sure. Time will tell though, won't it? I'm going to let this go off the page a little bit. That's all right. Okay, and I'm just peeling slowly, trying to get all the little bits and pieces out of there. That worked. Okay, and let's bring this down here. Yeah, Mama Sea Turtle's pretty big, so I need a lot of space to put her. Okay, so she's just going to go right there. Okay. There we go. Okay, and then we have this little starfish we can put right there, and maybe a couple of the sand dollars. Okay, it's kind of weird. I'm not sure how much I want it to cover her up, but it will. Okay, and then, I don't know. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Okay, another thing I like to decorate with is bling. Oh my gosh, you got to have some bling, right? Let's see, how do I want to do this? Okay. I wanted it tucked under the coral, but I didn't want it to look like a finger was grabbing it. My imagination is too much. Okay, got all that. Okay, so we want, oh shoot, my bling is in the other room. Darn it. Oh well. I would sprinkle some little sequins around here just to kind of fill it up some more. I do need to do my journaling, and then we are done. So where'd my pen go? I had it out. Oh, come on, pen. Where are you? There it is. Okay. All right. Hopefully I can get all this on there. If I can't, I'm doomed because I've got everything stuck down already. Oh, thank you, Tina. You're so sweet. Linda said, beautiful layout. And Marianne says, very beautiful. Giving me her some good ideas. Great, Marianne. I'm glad I'm giving you some ideas. All right. We floated through mangroves And I can't get mangroves all the way across. I can hyphenate it though. And I wouldn't usually hyphenate, but because I've got just enough room on this card to write my journaling, I'm squishing it all in here. Comma, jumped off a cliff. Okay, it wasn't that big of a cliff, but it was a 5-meter platform, so it was high enough. And snorkeled in hidden caves. In hidden caves. All right, what did I say? From peaceful period. From peaceful drifts. Oh, excuse me, my eye itches. From peaceful drifts, where am I? To the thrilling lighthouse water slide. Oh, check this thing out. I mean, that was a lot of fun. He was on, I forget which color was which, but we both started at the same time. He came out way faster than I did. I don't know if it's because he's heavier or if he just had a faster slide, but oh my gosh, it was so fun. Of course, I love wild rides. I'm still a kid at heart. The thrilling lighthouse water slide. We soaked up every second. Every second in this natural the only thing that is not natural is that water slide. Everything else was natural. Natural water park paradise. Water. Oh, can I fit it in there? Water park. Yeah. Paradise. The end. Oh, I'm so glad y'all had fun tonight with me. And I can't wait for you guys to share your vacation pictures. This layout is a go-to. It's so easy. You've got verticals and horizontals. All you have to do is make a 3x4. Two 3x4s make a 4x6. So, and then I just trimmed them down a little though, so they'd fit on the colored mat. Cardstock, you don't have to do that. That was just something fun I wanted to do. I just put a big, busy, colorful strip of paper down the middle, put some solid color up here with some pattern in it, little like border thing up here at the top so that it brought that color from the busy paper up here and back down here. And then the little starfish have it also. Oops, I forgot the starfish over here. Yeah, well, get him stuck on there. Okay. We have flip flaps so we can have even more photos. Our title. All right, that's it. What printer do you have? I have a 400 Epson PictureMate. 400. I had the 225 charm. I still have it, but that is you have to have it plugged into your computer to use it. The 400 is wireless. So I can be on the couch messing with my photos, like editing them and then print them. And I don't have to move my printer. My printer's here in the bedroom, or in the craft room. So I love the 400 Epson PictureMate. Like I said, I had the 225 charm, and that's still around. And they're both kind of expensive. They're in the hundreds of dollars, but they're worth it to me to be able to print my own photos, the size I want, when I want. And the quality is just excellent. I mean, the color's beautiful. It's bright, vibrant. So yeah, as I give a pitch for my printer. No, I do not sell my printer. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Don't forget, I've got this card kit. It's only available till Thursday. So if you want to get this card kit by mail, be sure to sign up for it. If you have not gotten an email about it yet, please send me a message and I will send you the link with all of the information. I can't think of anything else. I'll be here Wednesday afternoon at lunchtime for Card Challenge. That's always a fun thing to do too. So, all right, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye-bye.